them, that would be delete my TikTok account.
I would step down as test captain.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of SporTank Originals. This is podcast episode number 8. I promised you at the beginning of the show that we're going to have some amazing, deep, meaningful, insightful conversations along with a tinge of finesse. Today we've got three very special people, three very close people who live and they breathe cricket. Three people who've got a great understanding of the sport cricket, who can speak about cricket at length. Firstly, we have Siddharth, who plays cricket as well. He's an amazing left-arm orthodox bowler as well as a left-arm batsman. He supports the Mumbai Indians franchisee in the IPL. Next, we have Aniketh, who supports KKR, is a lovely batsman, opens for us in our college team, another wonderful guy. And lastly, we have Manav, who is an amazing fielder, amazing batsman, and he doesn't support any team. He just criticizes Virat Kohli. So these three amazing people we've got. I cannot wait to actually jump in and pick their brains on a lot of topics. But before I start, I just wanted to ask you all, how are you all doing? How is everything going back at home?
Everything's good, man. Like, I'm currently in Pune, and Pune is pretty chill. It's been raining like a lot, so I don't get out of my house that often. Yeah, it's great, man. Otherwise,
Are you all watching IPL and everything?
yeah,
Yeah, bro.
yeah.
Yeah.
Started a little
Bro.
late, but yeah.
Silent late, but then I think this IPL has been a harbinger of hope for us, has been a harbinger of positivity. And I think with the passage of time, we'll actually understand that IPL is needed. A lot of people criticize IPL that during these testing times also we're not being able to, support the other people who are actually dying and support the people who are not in good conditions. But the IPL has brought a lot of hope. So guys, without further ado, let's quickly jump into all the questions we have. We're going to start off with you, Aniketh. I know you are a great KKR supporter. You've been an amazing KKR fan for a very long time. But we know that after 2012 and 2014, KKR have gone, have endured a very torrid time. They've gone through a very bad time. So what do you think are some of the reasons of KKR's downfall after 2014? We've not been able to win the trophy anytime. So what do you think are some of the reasons?
Owen Morgan, bro. It's Owen Morgan.
Owen Morgan.
It's because post 2014,
Yeah.
I don't think like there has been a major downfall because like there is. I mean, of course, they're not been playing the way they used to. Because so many memorable things happened right after 2014. Like we got RCB out for 49.
गजब बेइज्जती है.
And so like a lot of things like that happened. But since the past 2 years, 2020 and 2021, sorry, I don't see like the team playing well at all. Like they don't care, bro. Like Russell just needs an excuse to get injured and he leaves. Nobody plays well, and like I don't see that intent. Like the second half, the second phase of 2021, you see a different sort of KKR now. I don't know how that's happened, what's happened. That's a great change, but otherwise, no, bro. Like I don't think like.
But do you think that after
Post.
Yeah, do you think after Gautam Gambhir left in 2017, that actually amounted to KKR not playing well?
Yeah, definitely. Because no offense to anyone in the team, but like there has not been a solid, central figure. Like
Right.
every team, even like Virat Kohli is for RCB, or Dhoni, MSD is there for CSK. So like there's not been a player, who we can be like, it's a good player who's there. Like no name. It's a group of people coming to bat whenever they feel like. Because we didn't even have a solid batting lineup so
Right.
long. Anyone opens, anyone comes whenever.
Yeah.
So there was no structure in the team, right? So then I don't think that's a sustainable team. Like what max they can make it to playoffs, but to win playoffs you need to be a solid team. The lucky thing was that Shubman Gill was showing good signs, but even he is not consistent. There's no consistency in the team
Right.
from any player, be it bowlers, be it batsmen. Nobody. Like now Venkatesh Iyer is there. Let's see how many days he'll actually go and do this for. So
Exactly.
yeah.
I think you've raised a very good point over here that you need a central figure in the team who can take a lot of responsibilities, who can actually lead the team. And I think if the captain is not being able to perform, then it's very hard to command respect. We know that the captain has to play well in a team. I was seeing Siddharth laughing. We know that he is a huge MI fan, and we know what a bad track record we have against Mumbai. It is 22-7 after a lot of years. After 2018, this was the first time we won against Mumbai. I think even Mumbai find KKR as their bunny. But I'm going to come to you, Siddharth, with a question. I think broadcast media has gone through a lot of transition. Okay, so ever since cricket started, ever since the coverage of cricket started, things have changed drastically. It started in the 1980s with the Kerry Packer series. That's when the first time broadcast happened after radio. Before that, it was radio. Right now, if you see, it is Star Sports, it is Sony, all these actually ruling the roost. So, how has the transition been according to you?
Oh yeah, so the I think it started in 1992 and it's gone and it's ridiculously advanced.
Hmm.
And I don't know whether it's in a good way or bad way. Of course, it's in a good way for audiences and stuff. But in terms of like, okay, for instance, you don't every batsman or a bowler can technically go back and read like how this batsman or this bowler responds to how they play and stuff. So like in places like Sri Lanka and India, there are a lot of mystery spinners. Like no one has
Hmm.
any idea what they
Right.
bowl.
Hmm.
Now, now you literally see someone like Varun Chakravarti or Mendes or Ajanta Mendes when he came out, he
Oh,
was
crazy.
insane. Yeah, but now like you can go back and see literally every single balls in all of his six balls to see like you can read it and you can come back and actually hammer this guy
Hmm.
because you know then that's what it's done like. And I also feel, be it in any field, be it cricket or in any field, a lot of upcoming cricketers are really good, but they try to emulate other players in the sense like you grow up watching someone, great, but if you repeatedly watch someone, don't develop your own style of
Hmm.
playing. Like
Right.
I know I'm probably wrong in some cases here, but like I'm saying for a lot of players who like try to restrict themselves, like there are a lot of exceptions like Pant or Kohli who have
Hmm.
developed their own style over time. Pant, Kohli, Rohit Sharma. But like there are a lot of players who try to emulate other players and don't last for a long time because
Hmm.
they lose themselves in that, and they watch like a lot of their favorite players try to play and stuff, which is good, like to seek inspiration and all. But yeah,
Hmm.
broadcast in some ways has been disruptive and in some ways has been very advantageous,
Hmm.
especially in terms of um, audiences and increasing their global reach and everything. It's been incredible. You know, now you have like 6, 7 spy cams and all. You couldn't
Hmm.
even imagine that. Like that was far
Exactly.
fetched in the 90s and stuff. So yeah, there's good and bad, but
Hmm.
yeah, I mean we're living in it, so let's see what we can make of it. Like it's really nice. Yeah,
Again,
it's
great point,
interesting.
Siddharth. Thank you for that insight. I feel that people like Ajanta Mendes, who were very lethal before, ever since broadcast actually took over, ever since we saw the rise of broadcast, everything has been demystified. He wasn't the mystery bowler. He did not have that particular magic which he had before. And I think this is something which people should look at in a very serious way, because if there's so much analysis, if there's so much going, you can literally see the footage of every ball being bowled, like you said. So I think everything just goes haywire. It's very hard for the bowlers, and I think it's a discussion for a separate day that cricket is actually becoming a batsman's game. There's so much for
Bro, but
batsmen. Yeah, sure.
yeah, like so many cameras, and they
So
still
many
give
cameras.
not out when it is still not out. The catch is clearly taken. They
Bro,
still
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
I think
crazy.
that is something
Yeah.
like if you're having so much like input of technology in for every aspect of the game, then
Hmm.
if you're wrong, then it doesn't make sense. Like it's similar to
Right.
what the football conversation is, right? When you have the
Hmm.
Right.
VAR and you make
Yeah.
a mistake with the VAR, it's not
Hmm.
acceptable. Like
Right.
Yeah.
exactly
there has
Yeah.
to be
malfunctioning.
Exactly.
some
I mean,
Yeah.
people think that there
zero.
should actually all the flaws and all the mistakes should be ironed out because of the
Yeah,
progress of
yeah,
broadcast
exactly.
media, like you said, Manav. Thank you for speaking, Manav. First time in the podcast, but it's good to have you. You're from Gujarat, we know that. I wanted to touch upon a very sensitive topic, a disclaimer, no offense to anyone, but I wanted to talk about Narendra Modi International Cricket Stadium. There was so much hue and cry when this stadium was named after our honorable Prime Minister, but I wanted to ask you, what significance do you feel the largest cricket stadium in the world after, MCG was the largest cricket stadium before this, but right now it is Narendra Modi Cricket Stadium. So you feel that that'll elevate Indian cricket to a very different level. So what do you think are some of the significant things that has happened after Narendra Modi Stadium has been built?
So actually, I was in the stadium at the time that it was announced that it's going to be
Hmm.
named Narendra Modi.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
was like, I think everyone around us was sort of felt like, okay, what
Hmm.
is this? Because it's named after a person who's still alive, and so we felt like, because Sardar Patel Stadium was the iconic name, right? It was, everyone knew it
Absolutely.
as like the Motera Stadium or like the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Stadium, and then it's changed to Narendra Modi. So like everyone feels that maybe it's not the right thing to do, but I mean it's done, it's dusted. Like there's no point cribbing about it now. Uh, but yeah, I feel like the stadium in itself is a huge achievement for
Hmm.
the state as well as the country, uh, and it opens like doors for all kinds of new opportunities for cricket in general. A
Hmm.
lot of new people will come in to watch the sport just because it's in a stadium that's the world's largest stadium. So
Exactly.
I feel like
True.
yeah, it's a great thing to have.
Exactly. I think it's a huge sports complex. There are many more facilities, just more than
Yeah,
just a cricket ground, a lot of practice grounds, a lot of good facilities for cricketers to stay. So all in all, I think it's a wonderful thing for Indian cricket, and all of us are Indian cricket team fans, and I hope that Indian cricket actually benefits from this and Indian cricket goes to a different level. Thank you so much, Manav, for that insight. I want to come to you, Aniket. We know that, Aniket, you live in Bangalore, but you're one of those exceptions who live in Bangalore but support KKR. But if we talk about the franchisee where the city you're actually living in, RCB, for 14 long years, okay, this is the 14th year of IPL going, 13 long years, they've not been able to win the IPL title. I've had a lot of conversations with Siddharth when it comes to this. RCB are not being able to perform well, but I wanted to know from you, why do you think the Virat Kohli led side are not being able to win any IPL trophy?
Since 14 years, if you say, there are two phases. You can divide it into two phases. One is the Virat Kohli phase since 2013, and one is pre. So pre Virat Kohli phase, I have not watched it that well, and for me to
Mhm.
give you a proper analysis. And I think they were a good team. They were a good team back then, but it just didn't happen.
Mhm.
Post Virat Kohli phase, I don't know what's going wrong in the team. Like there is not, I don't think there's one person to blame or something. Somewhere in the management, there is some loophole which
Mhm.
is not. I feel this is what I feel is
Mhm.
that that is not making players comfortable. Like these overseas players who come there, something is restricting them from performing. Like you see Watson, he played a final with RCB
Mhm.
and he performed very bad. Like he was the reason why they lost. And next final he plays was with Chennai and he scores 100 in the final. You see Stoinis was playing so well in DC last year, but before that he was in RCB and he wasn't doing that great. So there is something that's going wrong, and I feel they need to stick to a team. Every 2 years they have a new highlight foreign player. Like now it's Kyle Jamieson. I don't think he's gonna stay for long. Chris
Mhm.
Morris. I don't know why they removed Chris Morris. I think Chris Morris and
Mhm.
Udana were doing a great job. Their
Right.
bowling had become so well. Had it not had been Harshal Patel or like Chahal, their bowling would have sort of not been up to mark. You see,
Mhm.
so like I don't know why they removed Morris and Udana. So I think they have to make a solid structural team. Like unless you're like Mumbai Indians in Chennai, the reason why I feel Mumbai Indians in Chennai are so successful is because their Indian players are so strong,
Mhm.
and that core team remains. That core
Mhm.
team remains. There's some loyalty to the team
Mhm.
that I think most teams, especially RCB too, has failed
Mhm.
to keep. Like ABD performs, Virat Kohli performs, but we've seen again and again that two players cannot push a team to the
Mhm.
trophy. So
Mhm.
I think that's the reason. Like they have to make their players more comfortable, or like
Mhm.
whatever the problem is happening with these overseas players.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
think if you can make your overseas players play, see again like Chris Morris, I think he was fine in RCB because he performed so well, and they went till qualifier two or eliminator. So
Mhm.
that is what you need. You need their overseas players to play well.
Mhm. Exactly. I think there's a saying that you can have all the best players in a team, but you still cannot perform. But look at a franchisee like the Delhi franchisee. Literally, they did not have anyone, but they actually groomed those youngsters. They had Rishabh Pant, they had Shreyas Iyer. They groomed those youngsters, and today they are a champion side and they're at the top of the table. I think Mumbai have done that as well, Siddharth. I think you can comment on this better because Mumbai are a side, Jasprit Bumrah, Hardik Pandya, Kunal Pandya, they have unearthed those talents and they actually back a lot of youngsters like this. So I wanted to ask you all, like, do you feel that something like this even RCB should do? They should rely on some youngsters and they should make a youngster captain instead of actually investing heavy on a very foreign player like Aniket rightfully said. You can have the Chris Morrises and Marcus Stoynises, but if there's a lot of flaws in the management, it is impossible to actually play well even if you have a very well-oiled team. I wanted to ask you, do you feel that RCB should actually have a young captain in the making?
I think it comes to the crucial stage. Like anything like that has to do with the game comes down to a crucial stage. And like Aniket said, Chris Morris, they need someone like Chris Morris. Like Mumbai has a lot of crucial stage players. They lose their first 3-4 wickets. They still have people like Pandya, Pollard, Krunal. Yeah, they have a lot of all rounders. So the crucial stage players actually matter a lot because
Hmm.
you can make as many runs as you want in your opening and your first 2-3 wickets. You can make 60-70 runs. Well, if they make 100-120, though, even great. But like you saw KKR's match also, after
Hmm.
Venkatesh Iyer, Nitish Rana, Karthik, and this one didn't click. Morgan,
Hmm.
Karthik, none of them clicked.
None of them
So
clipped.
they could have gotten a good 180, 185. And similar with RCB, they start off really well. Like they have till De Villiers, Maxwell, and then yeah, like you need players like Morris and all to like at least get to like a concrete total,
Hmm.
because those people are very very crucial. At least in the
Hmm.
last 5 overs, you
Hmm.
need people who can just come out and hit.
Hmm.
Leave hit. You can just they can be concrete and they can know when to hit. Like
Hmm.
yeah, that's about it. Like
That's
that's
what
what
I
I
think
think.
Punjab. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's what I think Punjab is trying to do. You see, Bishnoi, Arshdeep,
Hmm.
these are great bowlers. These are hopefully they're going to
Very
become
good.
great bowlers, and they're
Hmm.
grouping them so well with KL as captain.
Yeah.
KL is relatively an older, younger captain.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You see,
Exactly.
so that's what Punjab is trying to do. But
Hmm.
Hmm.
again, now we never know with this new mega auction what's how things are going
Yeah.
to change.
Exactly.
Yeah,
All the
Yeah.
plans
it's
might just go
actually
haywire. Yeah.
it's going to be great. I feel like the mega auction is going to like almost spice things up for the future of
Hmm.
IPL, because I feel like at
Hmm.
some points it gets a little boring because you're seeing the same players in the same teams.
Yeah.
Uh, Almost oftentimes the same teams winning, as like we saw with Mumbai. A lot of people, uh, no offense at that, but a lot of people hate
Right. Take
Mumbai
no
now
offense.
because they're
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
constantly winning.
Fair enough.
Uh,
He's like the Lewis. They're like the Lewis
yeah,
Hamilton of
they're like the
IPL.
Lewis Hamilton of IPL. Yeah.
Bro, but
So
then
yeah, I
imagine
see.
you talked about the mega auction, right, Manav? Imagine because RCB are looking for a new captain. Imagine somebody like Ravi Chandran Ashwin comes to RCB and they are the captain, and he becomes the captain of RCB, and then he plays Virat Kohli according to the conditions. He's like, no, this is the condition. I don't think so. Virat Kohli can play today. He'll drop Virat Kohli from the captain. You think something like this will
But
happen? Ashwin
but
captaining
Ravi
Kohli and
Ashwin.
dropping. Yeah, Ravi
there's
Ashwin.
too much pressure on there'll be too much pressure on Ashwin. So like, uh, I think
Yeah.
the RCB fan base would trash Ashwin's hotel room if that he does something like that. Like it's
Right, very true. We just hope that RCB have a good future because deep inside, all of us have a little soft corner for RCB because we want RCB to perform well, and
no
RCB,
one has
everybody
no one
has,
except you has a soft corner.
everybody has, no, everybody has a soft corner.
But
But
talking about the mega auction, I feel like even with the
yes,
new two teams that are going to come in,
hmm,
Yes.
there'll be, I think, a lot more chance for the unrecognized players or the players
right,
who've
hmm,
not gotten a
hmm,
chance for so many years, and now like we could see someone who's never been in the limelight be a captain of one of those teams. Like
hmm,
something like that could
hmm,
happen. So we can't count that out.
I was seeing
Yeah.
this
hmm,
stat last night where which
hmm,
said I don't know the exact figure, so I'll not say it. But
hmm,
RCB has
hmm,
spent the most amount of money on the auctions while buying players,
hmm.
and comparatively, CSK had spent the least. So you see
Okay,
the difference here.
yeah,
You see the difference here. That's what I'm saying.
hmm,
Like like that loyalty to the
exactly.
team to go an extra mile is it lacks in RCB for like at least 6 players. It's because they are not used to the RCB thing. So that is what I
Hmm.
think. That is why that
You got to
burden on
back
Virat
a lot
Kohli,
of
ABD.
players.
Exactly,
You've
exactly.
got to
That
back
I
a
feel.
lot of players. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I
Exactly.
feel.
So, yeah, Aniket, thank you for that insight. We hope that RCB play well and that RCB can actually bank on a few players and can actually equally divide the responsibilities. Because how long are we going to actually bank on ABD and Virat Kohli? Because I think, okay, Virat Kohli is still in his prime form, but somebody like ABD Villiers, who's retired from international cricket, he's just playing IPL and some local T20 tournaments and T20 franchise cricket. So for him to fire, for him to act, for us to expect him to fire is something which I think it should not be done, because he's carried the burden on his shoulders. He's carried the burden of RCB for a lot of years. And it's time for the young people like Devdutt Padikkal, for the young people like KS Bharat and Shahbaz Ahmed to actually take over the mantle. Thank you so
Yes.
much for that. Coming to you, Siddharth. This is a very controversial question, and I want a very unbiased opinion from you. I know you're a Mumbai supporter, but I would want a very unbiased opinion from you. So, Virat Kohli recently announced that he's going to hang up his boots from T20 cricket as a captain. Even he's going to hang up his boots as RCB captain. Who do you think is the ideal candidate who can lead RCB next year, who can lead the Indian cricket team after the World Cup?
In my opinion, I feel KL Rahul at least for a while.
Hmm.
He's very very good for youngsters.
Hmm.
I personally feel, I mean, I'm not in the position to say all this, but in my opinion, I think he lacks that aggression a little bit, but
Okay.
he's really, really good for young players. Like, he lets them do what they want, like he doesn't like go around telling them exactly what to
Hmm.
do and what to bowl and how to bat.
Hmm.
And yeah, so I guess he lacks the aggressiveness, but he's a good candidate for this.
Hmm.
And also, of course, Shreyas Iyer has been the talk of like the next, but I don't know to what how much has Shreyas Iyer actually played
Hmm.
international and overseas compared to
Hmm.
KL Rahul. Yeah, but I also feel like before giving someone with not as much experience with international captaincy, they might give Rohit Sharma like T20, like one World Cup for T20, but I think that's not going to happen,
Yeah,
uh,
it wouldn't
because
make
he's going to be
sense.
in a position. It wouldn't make
Yeah.
any sense because
Hmm.
the thing is now you need to back your youngsters, right?
Hmm.
And you need a very good figure. Someone like KL Rahul and all are really good.
Hmm.
Like they will make sure that at least they have their own mind to think, and like they know that they're comfortable with someone who has had experience in a lot
Hmm.
of formats before. So KL Rahul I feel is really really good.
Exactly. I think KL Rahul is a good candidate. I'll tell you why. Because I
Yeah,
feel that the Indian cricket team, they never believe in split captaincy. They always believe that there'll be one captain for all the three formats. I remember MS Dhoni in one of
very
the
centralized.
yeah, in one of the interviews, he said that it'll be one person who'll take over all the three formats. And I think even when Dhoni left his captaincy from Test cricket, deep inside he
Hmm.
knew that when he leaves the limited overs captaincy, it'll be Virat Kohli. So I think that since KL Rahul is actually playing well in Test cricket as well, and he's an indispensable part when it comes to limited overs cricket, so I feel that he can actually take over
Yeah.
the reins, like you said, Siddharth.
Yeah.
So,
And I also feel there are good players from Delhi,
hmm,
there's because they're being coached by Ricky Ponting, all
hmm,
right, and he is a master strategist.
absolutely.
So thinking just like him is, I think, another
Hmm,
level. So having someone from Delhi also to captain the Indian team would be really really good,
correct.
because now they know, because someone like Shreyas Iyer has carried a team with absolutely like they have the lowest
Hmm,
experience compared to the other players. So I think
100%.
that's amazing. With
Hmm.
someone like, I think it would only be possible with someone like Ricky Ponting. So
Hmm.
yeah, I think someone from Delhi Capitals would also be really good for
Hmm.
like for an Indian cricket team captain. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think Ricky Ponting, one of the
Yeah.
greatest ODI captains of all time, with so many World
Mhm.
Cups under his belt, with so many serious victories under his belt. I think it's because of
Yeah.
Ricky Ponting that Delhi have managed to conjure magic in the Indian Premier League.
Yeah.
Thank you,
I just
Siddharth,
want to
for
ask,
that.
like,
Yeah, sure.
this is like a question for all of you. Like, do you think Prithvi Shaw is one of the contenders, or like it's
For
too early to
captaincy,
judge?
For
Yeah,
opening. Oh, for
opening,
Uh,
I don't think so.
okay,
I
so
don't I don't
he'll not open, but he'll be captain.
No, I'm saying that if do you think that he's a
Uh,
captainship material? Let's just say, like,
they say
not
they
this
say
from
immediate,
that
not right
he's
now,
coach material.
but
He's
like in the
coach
future.
material. Yeah,
See,
I
so
think
when
They,
he was captaining under 19, Rahul Dravid was the coach. So
uh,
he was mentored throughout. So I mean, yeah, someone you see someone like Virat Kohli, he is completely taken everything on his shoulders. And you need something like that because once you have a mentor like Ricky Ponting or with Rahul Dravid, you know
yeah.
you're backed with that brain. Like you know you can fall back on these people.
Hmm.
You'll come to a point because now I think coaches aren't really playing a big role in the Indian team.
Right,
I
correct.
personally think, other than batting, bowling coaches, the head coach I don't think plays a very very important role anymore because a strategy is what a captain decides. Unless you're
100%.
someone from
exactly.
Australia where Langer has taken over everything and given someone
Hmm.
like Tim Payne who isn't very aggressive or doesn't question the
Yeah.
coach and stuff. Yeah. So I think there should be a captain like who can take everything on their shoulders. And well, if Prithvi Shaw is capable of doing that, that would be great.
No,
But I
exactly.
personally don't see
Right.
Prithvi Shaw. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Aniket,
That
you
that
would go.
point,
Yeah.
yeah. So like I think a team adapts the captain's personality, right? Like you see a shift in how
Hmm.
India played from Dhoni to Kohli because like it's completely
Hmm.
different. Kohli's really aggressive. Hence we won in Australia. You see,
Hmm.
we sort of won in England also. You can say that. So
Yeah,
like
Hmm.
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
so
Absolutely.
it's
Hmm.
Yeah.
that aggression that comes. It's that thing. Like even Ricky
Exactly.
Ponting Australia was something else
Hmm.
only, and it's
Very
solely because of
aggressive.
the kind of person Ricky
Person he
Ponting is.
Hmm.
was.
So unless
Yeah.
we want our team to get all out for zero, then we don't need to make Prithvi Shaw captain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's also there because if you see Dhoni and Kohli are poles apart in terms of temperament and
Hmm.
captaincy. There are certain
Absolutely.
matches we could have only won with Kohli and certain matches we could have only won with Dhoni, but both of them took the entire responsibility on their shoulders.
Hmm.
So
Exactly.
Exactly.
if you have a figure like that, then it'll be
Hmm.
great
Exactly.
because you
And I
need to
think
be
in the
very self.
coming, yeah,
Hmm.
I think in the
Huh.
coming World Cup, it's going to be a blend when it comes to the thinking tank. There'll be Dhoni as well as Kohli, and that is going to work. I just cannot wait to just see what happens
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
World Cup,
yeah,
honestly,
yeah,
when there's a blend of the
yeah. That
captaincy of both, right?
yeah,
And I think they said
Yeah.
Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma should open because the better batsmen should get more
Hmm.
balls. That was the strategy.
yeah.
So that is
Yeah
also going to
he,
be really
And
exciting to
that is
watch.
partly why
yeah.
Shikhar
He
Dhawan
personally
got
wanted to
dropped as
open.
well.
Yeah,
That is why
Yeah.
Shikhar Dhawan got
So
Kohli
dropped from
himself
the
said, yeah,
World Cup
yeah.
as
That
well.
that'd be fun to watch. Yeah.
Absolutely. Coming to you, Manav, coming to the last question of the podcast, I wanted to talk to you about a very enigmatic team, Rajasthan Royals. Okay. Ever since they won in 2008, we all thought they're going to rule the roost. They're going to actually, be one of the most dominant teams in the IPL. But it's a whole different story. They've not been able to even win. Leave aside winning, they've really gone to the playoffs very few times. So, what do you think has been few of the reasons why Rajasthan have endured such a downfall?
Uh, to be honest, I haven't followed Rajasthan as closely as I followed, let's say, KKR or Chennai or Mumbai. But I feel like they 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 lack that killer instinct, that
Hmm.
intent that other teams have, that intent
Hmm.
to win and win each game as in its own. So I think they need to focus more on winning an individual game.
Hmm.
I would say that they're almost like the Williams if you in F1. You know, they had
Hmm.
a rich history. They started off very well,
Hmm.
and now they're one of the bottom teams, as so to say.
Hmm.
So it's almost as if they've lost their way somewhere, especially after the match fixing controversy and all of that happened. Uh,
2013. Hmm.
I can't say for sure, but maybe the dressing room environment is not
Maybe they
as
need
it was
Srishant
before.
back, I think. In some capacity, if they have Srishant back, then it'll do wonders for them. Because Srishant was a lovely
Yeah, I mean
bowler for them.
he was busy with Big Boss, so you know. So, but
No, but
yeah, I think
then great
Yeah.
points,
they need
honestly.
they need
Yeah.
more. They need like good coaching. They need like I think Sanju Samson is one of the upcoming good batsmen, but I
Hmm.
don't know about his captaining abilities. I don't think
Hmm.
it's
they
working
have
for
to
them. Right? Yeah,
they have to bring back Rahul Dravid, but they can't. Sorry, now they can't because like
Hmm.
he's India captain.
yeah,
But yeah,
Yeah.
India.
Yeah, there's been a big hole in Rajasthan Royals in terms of
yeah.
Exactly.
lineup and everything.
I think
There's been a
ever
big
since
hole.
Shane
There's
Warne
not
left,
much
I
attention there.
think that particular hole even
Yeah,
wide opened. I think
yeah,
Yeah.
Shane Warne was a great figure for Rajasthan Royals. Was he?
yeah.
He
And
was the
Rajasthan
coach
Royals
also of Rajasthan for a little bit of
for a
time,
For a
long
no?
time.
while,
For a long
Still,
time.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
absolutely. I think
yeah, yeah.
bring back Shane Warne.
He's
Yeah. But so with that, we come to an end to the questions. Now we've got a very interesting rapid fire round. I think something all of us really like, because rapid fire is going to be very instantaneous and very spontaneous. So we'll do it this way. We'll ask three questions to each. So first you're going to ask Siddharth all the questions. Then we'll ask Aniketh all the questions, and subsequently Manav all the questions. All right. So brace yourself. Some fiery questions coming up, but then it'll not be kill, marry, or hook up type questions, but it'll be proper, pure cricket based questions. So, coming to you, Siddharth, who do you think is the best KKR batsman of all time?
Gautam Gambhir.
Okay, Gautam Gambhir. Who do you think will win the T20 World Cup, upcoming T20 World Cup?
India has a good chance, yeah.
India. Got it. All right. Final question. If one day you wake up as Rohit Sharma, what is the first thing that you're going to do?
I'm going to go down and practice with him.
No, if you wake up as Rohit Sharma, not with him.
Oh, okay. If I go I heard you next to Rohit Sharma. If I wake up as Rohit Sharma, I wouldn't mind both ways.
वाह क्या सीन है
If I wake up as Rohit Sharma, bro, I would just go out in the nets and just bat forever. And yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'll do.
Okay, so you're gonna bat with him in the nets. Got it. All right. Thank you so much, Siddharth, for that. Coming to you, Aniket. Who do you think will be the next captain of Team India?
Next captain of Team India. I think it should be KL Rahul.
KL Rahul. So an answer similar to Siddharth. KL Rahul. Got it.
Yes.
Next, if one day you wake up as Yuzvendra Chahal, what is the first thing that you're gonna do?
Okay. There are a lot of things that I'd like to do as Yuzvendra Chahal.
Okay.
But one of them that would be is delete my TikTok account.
Delete TikTok account. Got it. That's a good answer. Next, who's your favorite bowler of all time?
My favorite bowler was it's be Dale Steyn. Dale Steyn for sure.
Dale Steyn. Why?
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand cricket like
Okay.
properly, I can only speak upar se about cricket. And seeing that only Dale Steyn is the most aggressive player of any sport I've ever seen,
Right.
his celebration, his bowling or anything. I don't think any any batsman would have felt confident against him except AB de Villiers. But I don't think there's anyone who would have ever not gotten scared of Dale Steyn. And he had this dominance, you see. He had this dominance for 5-6 years. So I grew up watching cricket at that time. So he was sort of my most favorite player. So yeah.
Yes. Thank you for that. Now moving on to Manav. If one day you wake up as Virat Kohli, what is the first thing that you're gonna do?
As Virat Kohli. Oh.
Yeah.
I would step down as Test captain.
मजा आया
Bro, how do you remove a person on Zencaster? How is it possible to remove someone? Next, who is your favorite spinner of all time?
Okay, this one's. I would say Brad Hogg. He was a spinner, right? Yeah.
Someone who had his tongue out at all times. Brad Hogg. Great bowler.
Yeah. For that reason, I think he's my favorite.
Okay, so not for his bowling, but for his
Chinaman,
tongue.
right?
Yeah. Yes.
Left arm Chinaman. Yeah.
Yes. Last question. What is your favorite sports movie of all time?
Chuck the India.
Chuck the India. I think. Yeah. Great movie. But thank you so much, guys. So with that, we come to an end to this particular episode of SporTank Originals. I had an amazing time. I'm dead sure that you all enjoyed the company of each other and also the conversations. Thank you so much, guys, for coming in our show. And it's been an amazing time. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
I loved it.
Loved it.